Don Lemon, he faces count one. Okay, count one, conspiracy against right of religious freedom and a place of worship. Count two, which he also faces, is the FACE Act. Injure, intimidate, and interfere with exercise of rights of religious freedom at a place of worship. Here's the video. And here's the video of what he did, if you haven't seen what Don Lemon did.
Well, it's shameful. It's shameful to interrupt a public gathering of Christians in worship.
So this is what yep.
But there were folks who will say,
I have to take care of my flock.
okay, but listen, we live there's a constitution in the First Amendment to freedom of speech and freedom to assemble and protest.
We're here to worship. We're here to worship Jesus because that's the hope of these cities. That's the hope of the world is Jesus Christ.
I want to be very respectful. Please don't push me, though.
We're here to worship Jesus.
Yes.
That's why we're here.
Yes.
Okay, that's why we're here.
Okay.
That's what we're about.
Don't you think Jesus would be understanding
we're about
and love these folks?
We're about spreading the love of Jesus.
But did you try to talk to them as a Christian?
No one is willing to talk.
Okay.
I have to take care of my church and my family, so I asked that you actually would also leave this building.
You don't want us to chronicle what happened?
Unless you're here to worship.
I'm always worship. I'm a Christian.
We're here to worship. Yeah. We're here to worship. Okay.
Yeah, what a total lunatic, man. I mean, this guy's holding up the mic in this guy's face, holding it up in his face, saying this crazy shit. He's not even a reporter. And that's what he tried to hide behind after this all went down, because he knew he was going to face some serious charges and he's in deep shit. I mean, he was just arrested today. And so, here's like the actual rundown. We got a source here that explains the whole situation. So the current situation with Don Lemon is that he was arrested by federal agents earlier today in Los Angeles, Beverly Hills, California, while he was there covering the upcoming Grammy Awards. Gay. This stems from his coverage of an anti-ICE protest on January 18th, 2026. At the city's church in St. Paul, Minnesota. During that event, protesters disrupted the church, blah, 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 blah. We all know that. Federal authorities, including the Department of Justice, FBI, DHS, charged him and three others, including another journalist, Georgia Fort activist Taryn Jean Cruz, with federal civil rights violations. Okay. Attorney General Pam Bondi publicly confirmed the arrests on X, describing the church incident as a coordinated attack and saying the arrests were at her direction. Good. Finally, they're doing something. Finally, this presidency is doing something like quick. Like he did this about 2 weeks ago. He committed this crime and now he's in jail. That's what we want. That's what the people want. They want something where that makes us feel good, right? We get some accountability there. Lemon's attorney and press freedom groups are strongly defending him, calling it an attack on the First Amendment and freedom of speech. They argue he was purely there as a journalist covering a public interest story. Yeah, of course they're going for that angle. Not participating in the disruption, and prior attempts to get warrants were rejected by judges in lack of evidence of criminality. Dude, CNN issued a statement criticizing the DOJ's actions and unacceptable violations of press rights. This is developing rapidly today with heavy media coverage, framing it as a politically charged case. And some see it as a retaliation against a longtime Trump critic. Of course, they were going to play that angle as well. Okay. So this whole story, right, with Don Lemon basically breaks into a church with a bunch of, rioters. They're not there to protest. They're there to be disruptive. They're there to disrupt these people in their private place of worship, right? They barge into the church. They halt this service. And it's totally against the law. It breaks the law. It breaks those rules and what constitutes, this act, right? They break this act, the FACE Act. And so you can't just go into a church and a religious place of worship and be disruptive like that. You can't just do that. And they're going to hide behind, well, this is freedom of speech. We have the ability to do this. But there are laws in place that protect people from these sorts of things. This is where the First Amendment gets a little squirrely. Because I can't just walk into a school and walk into a classroom because I don't like what that teacher's teaching and just call that teacher out in front of the classroom full of kids. I can't break into a church. I can't do that. I can't break into a school district or a school. It's against the law. Okay. So this is something where people are wondering, well, everyone's like, well, Don Lemon should serve 20 years. I mean, that's actually with the charges that he's facing. Don Lemon could face up to 20 years. Now, is he actually going to do the 20 years of jail time? No, he's not. I highly doubt he'll do any prison time at all. He's not going to see any jail time, which, again, it just shows where our law system has gone towards when it comes down to people actually breaking the law and being held accountable for their actions. It doesn't happen today. It doesn't work like that. That's why there's clear evidence out there that supports the fact that Diddy did those horrible crimes. Okay, there's so much video evidence out there. He bought thousands of baby oil, bottles. And you're like, all right, this is a little suspicious. What are you doing there, bud? And the guy only got 1.5 years of prison time. So with Don Lemon in this scenario, Don Lemon, before he went to this church and started like saying, we're with you. He even was saying we, like he was with these people. Not even like they're doing their thing. I'm just here to understand, like, hey, I know you're frazzled. I know this is crazy. What are your thoughts? It wasn't even like that. It was us against you. That was the mentality of Don Lemon. Don Lemon, before these people went into this church and barged in, he was running them Starbucks. There's video evidence of him running them Starbucks, saying, hey, here you go. Here's food. Here's drinks. Is that what the typical reporter does? I don't think so. But they're going to hide under this freedom of speech stuff. So if you like that video, you can click here to watch the entire stream. Just click here on this box. And if you want to watch another short form video, you can just click right here on this link as well. And it'll take you to another short form video. Thanks.